What it is, what it do, cyber world. It is your girl, the one and only Ash Said It. AshSaidIt.com. AshSaidIt.com, baby babies. Welcome back to the Ash Said It Daily podcast show. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for supporting the movement, which is Ash Said It. Yes. The podcast has well over 250,000 streams worldwide. Today, we are blessed to have with us mogul, businesswoman, life coach, the talented Christina Johnson.
Hi, how are you, sweetie?
I'm doing great. How are you doing today?
I'm wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for having me. This is awesome.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. How are you enjoying some of this Atlanta weather?
Yes, it is so beautiful outside. I came out of the gym today. I was like sweating. I was hot. And it had just the most beautiful breeze with the sun shining. It's just a beautiful, beautiful day.
For our listeners that are not familiar with you, where are you from? Where do you represent?
I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina. That's my home. I've been in Atlanta for about this year made 20 years.
Wow.
So yeah. Yeah, but I'm from the QC. We call it the Queen City. Yeah, I left Charlotte in '97 actually.
What was that transition like for you, Charlotte, Atlanta?
Very, very different, but very fun. Charlotte, it's slower than Atlanta. It's not the same. You know, it's more of a banking town, and Atlanta is more of an artist type of scene. So I fit right in. I mean, I was raised in Charlotte. I was a single mom of 2 daughters. I was raised around abuse. So I had a hard time coming up. I was a very fearful child. I had seen guns cocked to my mom's head and grew up very, very afraid and didn't have my biological father. So I looked for that male energy in boys. So I ended up promiscuous and at 16 and then again at 19. So when I left Charlotte, I left with 2 kids. So it was even more difficult because I'm a single mom out here trying to make it on my own with 2 children. But I felt spiritually that I was drawn to Atlanta. My sister, Michelle, had moved to Atlanta maybe a year before, and I was kind of coming back and forth, and then I just decided one day, I'm leaving. My family was kind of upset with me, like, you're just going to take the kids and leave? So I ended up bringing the girls to Atlanta.
And as you were jumping into the Atlanta scene, did you notice immediately that it was a step up from Charlotte, a little different? How did you adjust?
It's so funny because the night that I actually my clothes here and packed up a storage unit, I met my ex-husband, Ceelo Green, the very same night. It's so crazy. I went out with a couple of friends of mine, and they were in the male line. Back then, they had a male line and a female line. So, of course, they're letting all the ladies go in and holding the men. So I was in the club for a while. I kind of saw him standing there with a friend, but I couldn't figure out where I knew him from. I'm like, he looks familiar, but I don't know where I know this guy. So I walk around, I come back up, my friends they still aren't in there. So I'm like, I'm just going to stay here and chat it up with, this familiar looking dude until, because they were standing right where I could see my friends come in. So that's kind of how it happened. And then after that night, we were together for years and years. Yeah.
What was it like for you to juggle, you put into this new role, you're a mom, you're a wife, you're an entrepreneur. How did you find balance?
Because I was a single mom of 2 already, I just really was big on keeping them on a schedule. Like, they were on a 9 o'clock bedtime. They knew when they got off the bus, they had a snack, and then they had to do their homework, and then they had their baths and dinner. And like, I had them on such a strict schedule that I remember meeting Joy Gilliam. She used to be to Gip in Goody Mob, and I remember her saying, "You are the youngest woman I've ever seen be so, like, consistent with your children. Like, it's so amazing." But then when I met Lo, his schedule was so crazy that it kind of just threw everything off after a while. I mean, we dated for about 7 months before I introduced him to my children because I wanted to make sure that this relationship was going to be consistent. And so once he met them and then we all just kind of became a family, my scheduling was kind of out the window. But as a mom, I've always been consistent in making sure that my children knew good work ethic. So when they were out of school on vacations, I would take them to work with me. I made sure that I was there for them when they got off the bus. And eventually, once my interior design business was doing really well, I could take my weekends off. So I think a lot of times as women, we have to prioritize. Family is the most important thing.
Yes.
Work is great, but family is everything. So I just try to find a way to take them to work with me, work on my creativity at home so they could be a part of that process, and just really prioritize family and put them first. So that's kind of how I made it work.
Did you always have a vision for yourself in the industry? Because I mean, you kind of like a little bit of everywhere. Like your entertainment, your interior design. Yeah. You're going into people's worlds, people's lives. How did you view yourself when you were younger?
I had this feeling when I was younger that I always felt close to God. I feel like that was my mentor. A lot of people will ask, like, who mentored you when you were coming up? I didn't have that. So the one thing that my mom kept consistent with us was church. I stayed in church, like Friday night prayer service, Wednesday night Bible study, Sunday service, Sunday night. And so I knew that I could lean on God. I had a close relationship with God, but I knew that he was going to do something special in my life. I still feel that way. I don't even feel like he's anywhere near done with me yet. So I just knew like I was going to stay open and like a willow tree, really in whatever direction he was taking me, I was open to going. Yeah. So I didn't see entertainment so much. Like, of course you have to, I'm going to be an actress or I'm going to be a school teacher. But I didn't really know how, what was going to happen and how it was going to happen. I was just open to the process. So I kind of started out in the nursing field, went to college after high school, and kind of started taking care of Alzheimer's patients. And that's what I was doing when I came here. And then I visited this store in Lenox Mall called Steve Madden. And I was like, oh my God, I'm quitting my job and I'm going to work here. It's so crazy. It's just I move off of spirit. So what feels right to me, I'm going with it. And I quit my job, started working at the shoe store, and started selling shoes. I started really as a salesperson, moved up to assistant manager, and when I left, they were offering me my own store. Wow. So I kind of just went along with, whatever life had for me, and then Cribs happened, and I remember MTV coming to the house, and they were like, oh my God, this house is like our second favorite. And in my mind, I'm thinking, are you kidding me? Like, I saw Tommy Lee's house, and I was like, this is my favorite house. And they were like, no, but it has so much character. And we love it. And I thought, I could have something here. And then the AJC came to our house, and they were like, oh my God, we love this house. And that kind of opened up my life for the interior design. And that's how I started doing that. I was married. I had been a stay-home mom for a couple of years, but it was driving me crazy because I'm such a people person. I love to talk. And I was like, I got to be around people. This is driving me nuts. And so that's how it started. I started doing interior design and started really doing the people around me, and then was introduced to Ludacris and ended up doing his home, not the one you saw in Cribs, but his mansion that he lives in now. And then I did quite a few of his spaces, Young Jeezy, and it just, word of mouth is really, really big. It's like once someone goes into a space and sees your work, they're going to tell everybody, and that's really how my business blew up.
And you've continued to evolve and to take on different industries. Butterfly EFX. Yes. You're the co-founder of Butterfly EFX. How did that brand come about?
Well, my best friend, Tony AC, is a celebrity makeup artist. She's worked with a lot of entertainers, and she would always give me lip glosses to take with me, and I was like, how do you keep any of these things? And she's like, I know people are always asking me to do my own line. And one day we were talking, and she was like, I want to do this line. And I'm like, I'm going to help you. And women need to know that, too. That's what we are here for, is to support each other, to hold each other up, and to help in any way that we can. And where I see a need, I'm going to jump in and try to help. So we started that line together, and I eventually got ill, which I could talk about later, but I have Graves' disease. which is a autoimmune disease that attacks your thyroid. And I kept having surgeries back to back to back. So it took us about 5 years to get the line off of the ground. But once we got it rolling, it is so beautiful. It's doing really well. We sell online. And we actually created the colors ourselves with the manufacturer, so it's not private label. We put a lot of work into making sure that these colors are amazing, and they're highly pigmented and beautiful. We started with very classic colors, so there's an amazing red and nude and purples and pinks. It's very, very nice.
Yes. And I just have to say that you look amazing. OMG. I mean, all I got to say, y'all, is white bodysuit. Y'all go to ChristinaSJohnson.com and see her in that white bodysuit. I'm telling you, got me skipping meals this week, Christina. I'm not playing with y'all. No, but with grown children, you're an industry mogul. How do you maintain your good health now?
Well, it's become a priority because, like I said before, I don't even like to say I have Graves' disease because now my numbers are normal, so it's in remission. And that's because I try my best to take care of myself and be mindful about what I put in my body and on my body. Yes. It's very important because people have to understand that your skin is one of your biggest organs. So it takes in everything you put on it. So I'm very big on that. I make weekly trips to the farmer's market. I meal prep for myself, and I take Sundays and I make my meals and I eat off of that during the week. I buy fruit and healthy snacks to snack on, but I do this thing called 80-20, where when I'm out doing industry events, red carpets, brunches, and all this stuff where they have cocktails and all this amazing food, that's my 20. When I'm out and about, I have whatever I want. But during the week when I'm working and I'm working out and I'm at home, working from home, I eat healthy. So I don't feel like I'm depriving myself because if I want a piece of cake and I'm out somewhere, I'll have a piece of cake. But when I'm home, I'm eating well. And I work out almost every single day just because I go to this gym called Effect Fitness that is so fun that if I don't go, I miss it. So I exercise, I eat well, and try to take care of myself because a lot of the diseases that we deal with are created because of our diet and the things that we're putting in. So I'm very mindful of taking care of myself because I know what it's like to be sick. I almost died from complications of Graves'. I almost lost my life, and so I have to do that in order to be here for my kids. Like I have, like you said, I have grown children. I have a 27-year-old daughter, Sierra, who did my Super Sweet 16, and my middle daughter is 24, Kayla, and my son just turned 17 on the 30th.
We saw that. Congratulations. And I see that he, you were talking about him getting signed to Sony. That's huge. Congratulations,
he's
Kingston.
in a group that got signed to Sony. And so, and I have 3 grandkids. I want to be here for my children and my grandchildren, so I have to take care of myself in order to do that. And if it means going an extra mile and making these weekly trips to the farmer's market and making this, food, it takes me a few hours to get all my food prepared. It's like that little extra work is worth it because I'm here with them. And I'm able to enjoy life with them. And I'm also a life coach. I started life coaching after the show. So I'm able to bless other people as well, and I use my social media outlets to do that. My life coaching sessions that I do privately to do that, and I also do a retreat that's called Amazing Me, Amazing Life, where I have women come spend the weekend with me, and we really do the work. So me keeping myself healthy blesses not just my family, but everybody that I'm able to touch. I always say that the grace of God healed me from the Graves', and so did gratitude.
Yes.
Because I remember the doctor saying, "Oh, you're going to die. Your right kidney's going to..." Well, the tumors were sitting on my right kidney, so my left kidney had to overcompensate. So my right kidney was small, and my left kidney was getting bigger. And the doctor kept saying, "You're going to go into kidney failure because your thyroid isn't stabilized. you're probably going to go into cardiac arrest and die on the operating table. And I was listening to that. And then after a while, I remember, just as plain as I'm talking to you, God is like, are you going to stand on my promises or listen to the word man? And I remember saying, I'm going to stand on your promises. And from that day until the day that I was healed, I constantly said, thank you.
Yeah.
So gratitude, along with God's grace, healed me. And it's very, very important that we speak life over ourselves, because we have the capability of assisting God in healing us, for sure.
Yes.
But it's all about, being faithful and trusting and speaking those things that are not as though they were. We are able to manifest, great things over our lives through the way that we think, the things that we say, and what the feeling that we put behind it.
Yes, and you said something that was key, the energy around us. And that includes people. Because sometimes we will have some spirits, and I know you know, Christina, because I know you've encountered a couple of those spirits from time to time.
Yes, I have.
That you know good and well has no business being around you.
That's right.
But sometimes I think we get familiar and we get so comfortable. Oh, well, this person's always been there, or that's just how they act.
Yes.
But coming to a consciousness of knowing that this person is poison, this person is toxic, this person is preventing you from seeing your full potential of what you're supposed to be to this world.
Absolutely.
And the moment that you take charge of that and you say, oh, no more.
And you know how sometimes people are like, well, why isn't my life moving in this direction? And I'm ready for this blessing to come. And a lot of times it's because of the weight that's holding you down by the parasites, and the people that are using you and don't mean you any good and have just been along for the ride.
Yeah.
And the people, God sees it to bless you. Everybody can't always go, so it's up to you to figure out who these leeches are, who the people are that's draining you, that's weighing you down, so that God can take you to the next level. A lot of times we do hold on to people just because of time. It's like, oh, but I've been around this, or this person's been in my life for 10 years, or we've been dating for 3 years, and that's just time. That's time. Okay. Everybody comes into your life as a teacher, so it's not a waste of time. You just ask God, what am I to learn from this? And get the lesson and move on. Everybody can't go, and that's okay. But I think it's important for us to take an assessment of the people that are around you, because you're right, like that energy does influence us in major ways. So we have to keep an eye on the people that, we have in our circle.
Oh, we can talk about that. That could be a whole nother show, Christina. We'll get back to that one.
Okay.
We can talk about that. But, okay, so after, you were on VH-1's Atlanta Exes, after that experience and everything that came from that and what you learned from it, would you consider doing another reality show?
Reality, it would have to be a great fit. I never say never, because I feel like God has a sense of humor, and sometimes he'll call you on your stuff, so I'm open to doing something, but it would have to be a great fit. I had already turned down about 8 shows before I accepted doing Atlanta Exes, and that's because they didn't fit. They were calling me. I would take a look at the show and be like, ooh, no, this isn't me at all. Like, I put a lot of love and a lot of time and patience and, just parenting my children even, and I didn't want to do anything that would damage my family unit, embarrass my kids. And I consider everyone's children my children. So if, someone else's daughter is looking at me cutting up on television, then I'm giving them that example of this is how, women act, especially culturally. Like, it's just not fair, because I have amazing relationships with other women. We don't fight. We don't call each other out our names. We don't, we don't put our hands on each other. And I'm like, I don't want a young girl to look at that and say, she got that from me, and I wouldn't embarrass my children like that. So I wouldn't do things that I thought would, put my family life in jeopardy, put my children in jeopardy, or anyone else's children. So as long as it was something that I felt like I could be 100% myself on, like I was on Atlanta Exes, then I would be open to it. But I'm also kind of getting my feet wet with acting classes, and I shot one independent film. So I would much rather be on the acting side of it than reality, but I'm open. I really am.
And what events do you have coming up, Christina? You know, we're going into the latter part of the year. We got a lot of holiday events popping off.
Well, I'm putting together a tour for my AMAL retreat. My first stop is going to be New York. I don't have all the dates down yet, so I don't want to call out one, but I want everybody to be looking forward to that. It's such an amazing event where we actually do the work. We're coaching. We have amazing speakers, amazing food, celebrity chefs, and we just have a really, really good time. And the beautiful thing about my events is that these women stay in touch with each other. They develop relationships. I call them my butterflies. And my butterflies stay in touch with me. And it's kind of a situation where we grow together. And I have, women that have come to my first event, my second event, and they're like my veteran butterflies that usher everybody else in and love on each other and support each other. So it's really a beautiful, beautiful movement. So that's one of the greatest things. I also have a workbook that I put together. It's my Amazing Me, Amazing Life workbook, and I also have a gratitude journal. So you can go on my website to get those. But it helps you kind of do the work. And through gratitude, through manifestation, spirituality, affirmation, eating right, taking care of your body, it goes through the gamut, because I feel like you have to set that foundation within yourself in order to win, and to heal your past and forgive your past is so important in order to move forward. Because I think a lot of times, we hold on to old stuff. We carry that guilt. We don't forgive ourselves. And that stuff ends up stifling us in another area of our lives. So this workbook kind of helps you to put things into perspective and heal from the inside out. Forgive yourself, forgive your past, and forgive others who have betrayed you. So that's another thing that I'm working on. I'm so excited about. And I love the gratitude journal just because everybody around me, I always make them keep a gratitude journal and write at least 10 things down at night that you're grateful for that day. So because I feel like gratitude opens you up for more blessings. We always want more, but we're not paying attention to what we already have and what we already have to be thankful for. So this kind of gives you, it kind of puts me putting my foot down saying, hey, let's be appreciative for what we have. Let's let God know that we appreciate where we are, what we have, and who we are at this very moment, and then that will open us up for more.
Christina, what advice would you offer to any young person right now that's going through a tough time in life, but they have a dream in their heart?
I would say, one, giving up is not an option. If you have a pulse, you have a purpose. That means that there is something that God has you here to do, something special that just you can do. You are beautifully and uniquely made. And I feel like if you just steadfast and stay consistent, continuously educate yourself, go after whatever it is that you want. I'm big, like I said, I'm big on affirmations and speaking those things that are not as though they were, and making sure that you're saying things as if they already exist. And when you're saying them in front of the mirror, make sure that you're feeling the feeling behind it, smelling the atmosphere of where you want to be, feeling the atmosphere of what you want, and believing that it is yours. I think it's so important. And just knowing who you are. Like, I have my son write a list of I ams. I am lovable. I am great. I am honest. I am loyal. And I think it's important for us to focus on the things that we want and make sure that we are speaking those things into existence. And I feel like life will come full circle and give you everything that you desire, but you do have to put the work in, and that's a great start on doing that. And just like I said earlier, just stay grateful, because we do have a lot to be grateful for.
Well, the ever-talented Christina Johnson, thank you so much, Christina, for passing through the show. We love you.
Thanks for having me. It was so much fun.
I appreciate you. And let everybody know if they need to get in contact with you, if they need to check out some of that Butterfly EFX, where do they need to go?
Yes. If you want the makeup, which it is amazing, you can go to BEFXmakeup.com. You can also go to my website, Christina S. is in Sam, Johnson.com. If you go to the circle, it has everything that I'm involved in at the circle, and you can click on the makeup line, and it'll take you straight to the site, the design, everything that I'm involved in. I have a rum liqueur that I'm partners with and the brand ambassador for, a rum liqueur called Ooh Wee. They're selling it everywhere in Georgia now. We're like in over 70 stores in Georgia. I'm so excited about that. And it's spelled OUOUI. And you can find it on Instagram at SipOUI, which is SIPOUOUI. And my Instagram is Christina Johnson _. I am on Twitter at InnerPiece. That's the name of my interior design company. It's INNERPIECE, like piece of furniture. I'm Christina Johnson on Facebook as well.
Perfection.
I hope that was everything.
That's it. I know somebody done latched on to some of that stuff, Christina. We just appreciate you so much because I know that you're a busy woman, and the fact that you had the time to spend with us today, we appreciate you so very much. Thank you.
I was honored. You're more than welcome.
Much more success to you. I see that coming. We'll keep an eye open for maybe a movie premiere soon. Very soon.
That'd be awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. And I thank each and every one of you guys for supporting the movement, which is ashsaidit.com. 250,000 streams worldwide. Thank you so very much. Keep in mind, anyone to tell you that you can't do what you want to do, you look them square in the face and tell them, don't believe me, just watch. Watch what I do. Watch me make it happen. Watch me make history. Because that's what we're doing this for. We're doing this for the history books. Social media is nice, it's cool, it's fun, but real life is so much better. Until next time, you guys.